Well, as the story would go and proceed, this last weekend, we haven't used the dishwasher all winter, mainly just because we had to fill up the water tank so frequently, and we didn't want to use a lot of water. So we turned the dishwasher off, and we tried it the other day, and it seemed to run through its cycle fine. To find out that it didn't drain. So it went through all the cycles, but none of the water that was in there got pumped out. So my chore yesterday was to pull it out and see if I could figure out what was wrong. Well, I managed to find the wiring diagram in the kick plate on the bottom, and I checked the motor, which checked out fine. I checked the timer switches, and that checked out fine. Obviously the motor relay was operating because it was washing the dishes, and it's a reversing motor, so whenever it's washing, it's running one direction. When it's pumping out the water, it's running the other direction. It has two impellers in it, and the impellers look fine. So tonight I got home from work and decided, well, I'm gonna check the drain line. So I took the drain line off of it comes underneath the cabinet and connects to a little piece that sticks off of the drain line on the sink. That's about, I don't know, 2 feet above the ground. So that line stays full of water all winter long. So I disconnected it, got a container, and turned the pump on and let it fill it with water. Then I advanced it to the drain, pumped out cycle, to the drain cycle, and it pumped real slow, just a little bit, probably no more than 3-4 cups a minute. So it was really slow. So I pulled the drain line off where it connects to the sink, and neither one of those are plugged. What I'm going to do before I put it all back together is pull that drain line apart and see if there's where the water had sat in it. Maybe that got plugged. I was able to force air through it, but I'm really not sure if it's not a plugged line, somewhat plugged, why it's not pumping out. But I wanted to show you the little bit of what I learned while I was working on this. This is the bottom plate, $66 by the way, if you can find it. Here it is. This is the impeller that drains the water out when the motor runs in reverse, and it ends up pumping water that falls down in here back up into the compartment when it's forcing water up into the tub. This is the cover that goes over that. So you put this little thing goes back on here. Really a simple, pretty simple design. And this shaft is square, so everything that sits on here spins around. On top of this is where the water goes through the strainer. It's not much of a strainer, it's a little bit. This piece sits on top of this, and this has another strainer around the outside of it, you can see, to to keep broken glass and stuff like that from getting sucked down into the pump. This is the macerator blade, which sits right on top of this. Slips right down on that. And then the water pump. And I'm going to have to set you down. Larger Torx bit. Okay. Now, this little piece, and of course a different size socket. I think they could put all this together with one size, but no, different size. Okay. That's it. That's it for the inside. Now, I'll take the drain line off of the back. I'll take the drain line off the back. I'll show you where that goes. Right here is where the drain line comes off, and it runs all the way back into the dark abyss. And connects to that dark rubber hose there. And runs over under the sink. So I'm going to take that line off. There's a little, I don't know what that is, a little adapter. Looks like it goes from 3/4 inch to 1 inch or something. Check that and see if there's got any clogs in it. So until then, I will show you the rest of the story later. The dishwasher repair saga continues. I did everything on the dishwasher that I knew to do, and I pulled the drain line off, and I pulled this connection apart and looked into this end of that black hose. I took this piece off where it connects to the drain line. This piece right here. You really can't see that very well, but there's a little, that's where the hose connects to the drain line, and I did not see any plugs in the line from there, but before I have a repairman come out, I'm going to take this hose completely off, take it outside, see if I can fish a wire or run some water in there at a pretty high pressure, see if I can get anything out of it. That's really the last thing, other than the sink drain itself, which the sink drains without any trouble, so I don't think it's that would slow it down. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to take that apart and take it outside and see what it looks like. More in a little bit. While looking at this, trying to get it out, I noticed a little kink. This could be the culprit. Right where it comes out from behind this little metal bar. Right here, there's a kink. Almost cut completely off right there. So I think that could very well be the clog. So I'll work on that and see if I can't get that opened back up. Well, I did try to straighten out that bend in the pipe and began to wonder, why do we have this big black pipe? Do we really need that big black pipe? Shouldn't we just connect the drain line from the dishwasher to the drain under the sink? So I got to thinking, well, it should be on the plumbing diagram for the motorhome. So I just so happen to have that PDF file, so I picked it up. And sure enough, there it is. So I'm certain they have a good reason why they want that black pipe. Maybe it's stronger. Maybe the drain line is not made to bend when you pull the slide in and out repeatedly. So looks like we have to continue the saga. I don't know if it's the drain now or if it's the impeller or what it is. Looks like we'll have to wait for the repair guy. So we'll get you an update. Thanks. Well, I decided to go ahead and replace the drain pipe that was under the sink. I was going to replace the drain pipe from the dryer or the dishwasher, but the line that I got from Lowe's didn't fit. It was too small diameter. So I'll show you under here what I replaced. Really nice, shiny black pipe. It's a little bit thin-walled, so I'm a little concerned about it kinking coming around that corner piece again, but it goes around, connects to the sink. I replaced that, so obviously we don't have that same kink that we had before, but it still drained slow. So the repair guy's going to come. I'm assuming it's gonna be the impeller, that either that or the motor's not turning at the proper RPMs. So with that, the end of my all my abilities has been reached. We can't get that repaired, then it looks like a new dishwasher is gonna have to be invested in. So until then, the rest of the story, you guys. Thanks for watching.